Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host Tone Vase. I am finally leaving Hong Kong. I've been here for about 10 days. It feels like I've been here for about 3 years. Um, it's, yeah, there wasn't much sleep happening. So I really hope I can pass out on this 13-hour flight, I think. Yeah, I got a 13-hour flight to Zurich. I'll be landing around 6:30, 7 in the morning, Zurich time. And right now it is 11:30 uh, Hong Kong time. Anyway, I got about 20 minutes before my flight starts boarding, just got through security. The meetup tonight was great. Got a little bite to eat with Saifedean. Shout out to the other guys. Shout out Larry. Shout out Leo. Scott, thanks for hanging out. It was good. It was good. It was definitely a good trip. Let's go to screen share because, like I said, my time is very limited here. I haven't looked at the price of Bitcoin in a while, so let's just take a look at it together and see what's going on. Oh, I happen to have the S&P 500 up first, so we're gonna go through the S&P 500 to kick us off. I'm working with one monitor here, so there was no webcam either. Hope the audio is good. Hope the video is good. I don't want to talk too loud. I'm kind of in the charging station area. Let's see here. I'm assuming everything's fine. Should probably double check. Now we're good. I could not be more bullish on the U.S. stock markets here. I mean, that is a beautiful weekly candle here. We're at 28.19. Weird pullback last week, but it fell into the area of support, and I'm not surprised that it fully bounced back to the upside. Now, because the big down day happened on candle number 8, this is not the type of 9 that scares me at all. So if I was holding normally, you almost never hear me say this. Here comes a 9, and I'm going to actually say, probably for the first time on this channel, that I would be comfortable holding S&P 500 longs into the weekend on a 9 on a Friday. This is something I never thought I would say, but I've also never seen a 9 candle that looked like this. And this goes to show you that this indicator is not simple. And those that have learned it and those that have read the book and those that have been trading it, you have your own style of trading this indicator. Like, I have no idea what Tom DeMark would say about this weekly 9, but here's what I'm saying about this weekly 9 after my, 10 plus years of experience of trading it. And this is the kind of 9 on a Friday that isn't scaring me for the first time in my life. This is the type of 9 that I would scream to high heavens, get the hell out of the market. This doji, this 913 doji is a screaming sell, but not this 9. Not this weekly 9 is straight up bullish to me. Now, there's nothing wrong with taking some profits here. I mean, it's still a 9, it's still a Friday. It's just my experience is telling me not to be too nervous going into the weekend. Let's look at the daily of the S&P 500. And as you can see, I know we still have a, by the way, this can change. For example, if this, you still have a full trading day to go, right? The market's been trading for 2 hours. You got about 4.5 hours to go. If this starts to look like a reversal candle, if the current candle, which is a 5 of 9 on a daily, ends up looking more like this 9 shooting star, which I was also screaming to get out on this candle. If it starts to look more like this candle, I would be a little more cautious, right? So the assumption is, if Friday closes exactly as you see it here, I would be comfortable holding swing trades into the weekend, even off a 9, because the pullback took place on candle number 8. Just a heads up. Now, gold hasn't done anything. I'm not even gonna bother talking about it. GBTC, what are you doing? At 460 with a premium of 20%. I need this to be higher. I'll probably, if once my trade is in the profit, it's not yet, it's not at the moment. I think I got in around $5. We're currently at 460, so I'll wait. I'm not in a rush. I already sold some of it for a profit, so my trade's probably profitable, but I want to get out with every share at a profit. So here's what I was going to say before we get to Bitcoin, right? Let's stick with the traditional markets. One of my, I've never even looked at the chart of Boeing, right? But we all know Boeing crashed, and I know I'm going to get crucified for showing this, right? I've never looked at a chart of Boeing. I think Boeing was in a hyperwave. I saw it on Leah's hyperwave channel in their hyperwave workshop webinar. But I'm gonna open up a load chart layout. Let's go to U.S. equities. Let's go to the U.S. stocks watch list, and let's add Boeing. And like, I'm warning you guys, like I know what you're gonna say when I show the chart of Boeing, and it's very unfortunate that another plane has crashed, and no one. I'm not the the scammer. I don't know, Bill the numbers guy or Gary the numbers guy. I don't even know what the hell his name is. It doesn't really matter, right? I'm not saying I could have predicted a crash. No way. You can't predict a crash. Like, that's ridiculous, right? No psychic. It's totally irrelevant. You can't, right? I'm sorry, I don't believe in that garbage. But what I do believe as a trader is probability and statistics. So if I'm going to pull up my US stocks list, and I'm going to put in Boeing. I don't even know how to spell Boeing. Shit. I look like an idiot. How the hell do you spell Boeing? It's the beauty of live streaming. Oh, Boeing. Perfect. Boeing. I can't spell to save my life, guys. So if I pull up the chart of Boeing, hindsight's always 2020, right? That was the daily chart of Boeing. The daily chart of Boeing topped on an aggressive 13, and I'm not a huge, I'm not that big on the aggressive 13s. It is a caution flag, but I would have probably advised people to not to be too concerned on this daily aggressive 13. You are on a green 2 above a green 1 above a 9. You're still on 11 sequential. I would have been way more nervous about Boeing back here, back in early February, when you had a reversal candle on the 8, followed by a 9 candle, the candle after, that traded below that candle. This is when I would have shorted Boeing from a daily chart, and this is where it gets to be very important. This is where I would have been out of Boeing with my profit from the long trade, because this clearly was a 1 to 4 candle correction and a countdown phase to 13, but it didn't make it to 13, right? Reversed on the aggressive 13, but I'm not here to talk to you about the aggressive 13. I want to show you a higher level time frame, which is more important. And this is what I teach about. Higher level time frames are always more important. Let's go to the weekly chart of Boeing. The weekly chart of Boeing tops on a 9. Okay, so of course no one, like I said, of course no one can predict a crash, but you can trade consistently. And I'm a huge fan of the sequential system, and you can trade the sequential system consistently, because look at the prior 9 that took place. Gave you a nice pullback. That candle had an opening at 370, and then 2 weeks later you fell as low as 336. Now, I'm not saying you're going to short at the top and buy at the low. That was 2 days later. The third day, it went lower still to 327, right? But this 9 tells you to get the hell out of your long trade. You can always get back in if it starts trading back above it. So you could have just saved your money. If you shorted here, probably a break-even trade. It didn't go very far down, but that's still a pretty good savings, right? In 2 weeks, from 370 realistically down to 330. That's a $40 move on a $370 stock. But then look what happened on this more recent line. This is a much bigger run up. So you have to take this exit of Boeing a lot more seriously on this 9. And obviously, like I'm going to repeat for the 4th time because it's, I'm sure the troll box is going buck wild right now. What I'm saying is trading the sequential consistently and using the sequential. This was an aggressive 13, and like I said, I'm not really all that crazy on the aggressive 13, but the aggressive 13 inside a weekly 9 would have gotten me very cautious Boeing, right? And you could have been out of the Boeing stock, waited for your 1-4 candle correction, and you can see we're now bouncing off the moving average, and the daily chart is on a 9. So the question is Boeing a buying opportunity at the moment? And I'm gonna say it's a very low risk trade. It's a very low risk trade right now to buy Boeing. I mean, the airlines are not going to stop buying Boeing planes. In fact, there are more people that I know of that don't fly Airbus but fly Boeing. I've had these conversations with people. People trust Boeing more than they trust Airbus. Maybe not anymore, but prior to these incidents, Boeing was the more trusted, engineering plane from my personal discussions with people familiar with the industry. Again, that might change, but for now, I would say this is a pretty low risk trade. I probably would take a stab at a long with a very tight stop loss, either lower than the current candle or lower than the 7 candle. Now, would I enter this on a Friday is a big question. My answer is if I was to enter it on a Friday, I would enter it just as a small position. If my intention was to, buy, let's use round numbers, right? If my intention was to buy 100 shares of this, I would only buy like 20 or 25 shares. And then I'd see how it opens Monday and how it trades Monday after 10 a.m. And then I would be, and if it trades in my favor, I would be more comfortable in adding the other 75 shares. Okay, that's what I would do on Boeing. But don't forget, if I was trading Boeing, I would have been out of Boeing and potentially in a short trade, profiting from this already, right? Because the sequential kind of, helped you. I don't want to say it predicted like, a disaster, but it helped you profit from the stock. I mean, that's what a trader does, profits from the stock. So for me, this would be a low risk entry, especially if I've already made money on the way up and potentially made money on the way down. This would be a very low risk entry for potentially markets to go up because we're in a bullish market. I'm bullish the market overall, which makes me even more comfortable with this. All right, I got about 7 minutes before we start boarding. So let's go over to Bitcoin. This is a very nice weekly looking candle. The red candle that I saw the last time I opened this chart is now a doji candle, and we still have a couple of days to go. Let's see if we can close this candle higher than the prior candle. That is bullish, but notice how slow and steady this rise is. I would love for this to accelerate to the upside, like shoot to the upside very, very quickly. Ideally, not next week, but the week after. I want a perfected 9. I want perfection 9 that swings intra-week into $5,000 and then closes below the 30-week moving average. Not sure what, okay. And then swings below the 30-week moving average, right? So I want to see, not next week, like I said, but the week after, I want it to go to 5,000. Maybe we can still get that, you know, ultimate dead cat bounce. I want to see a close below the moving average, setting up for a fat move from 5,000 down to sub 3,000, probably closer to 2, maybe 2.5, and then we reevaluate everything. So the weekly chart remains bullish, and let's take a look at the daily. The daily is on a price flip stuck below the 128-day moving average. It is very likely we're going to touch the 128-day moving average. We have not touched the 128-day moving average since something crazy happened on the 15th of October. Very likely this was the Tether incident. So if the 15th of October was the Tether incident, then I wouldn't even count that as a touch of the moving average because it was a silly news event and you know, fought on Tether. So the last realistic touch of the 128 moving average occurred on the 4th of September, and that's a while ago. I mean, that's almost it feels like a year ago, but it's almost 6 months ago now. So September into March, so that's 6 months ago. That's insane. This is totally neutral. The daily chart is completely neutral. No indication of direction. I'm looking at the live chat now. Guys, it really doesn't matter to me if Boeing went up 4x last year. It can go up 4x this year. Like, it doesn't, things can always get more expensive and things can always fall lower until they hit zero, right? Like Bear Stearns is down 30%, great. And then 3 weeks later, it doesn't exist, right? So that doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. What the hell is this? What happened here? Why isn't it on a daily chart? Why come I don't see that? Why come I only see it on a 12-hour chart? Am I up to date? Tell me I'm up to date. I'm gonna oh, what happened here? Changes you made may not be safe. That's okay. I mean, I don't really have a choice, right? Prevent this page from creating additional dialogues. All right, let's see what happens. I want to make sure I'm looking at the right daily chart. The hell is that? When did that happen? Ah, that totally screwed with my 9. Yeah, I guess I was looking at the right chart. Okay, so the 12-hour chart is actually bullish. We have a rising moving averages. All the moving averages are above each other. We have a green 2 above a green 1. We're at 39.04, so we're about to break the swing highs. The 12-hour chart's bullish. I want to see what the hell that is. When did that happen? Like 24 hours ago? Damn. Okay, so this is what we call the Darth Maul candle. I want to see the hourly chart. I want to see what happened first, the up or the down. So I have no idea if this went up first or down first. Right now, the chart is bullish on the 4-hour. So this is it's like a Darth Maul candle. What was the range of this candle? Low is 37.75. The high is 3,900. It's only 125 bucks. It's not really a big deal, right? I mean, I was in a Tether trade that went like $700 against me, and I was fine. Maybe even more than 700 against me, right? It depends on what you're trading. But if you are a short-term trader, here's what it means for you. If you trade like hourly charts, let me see hourly charts. Oh boy, Jesus. Okay, so here's your hourly chart, right? So if you trade hourly charts or sub-hourly charts, Here's what this candle means to you. And thank God we have like a male dominated audience, because I may get in trouble for what I'm about to say. Here's what it means. It's the exchange basically takes the Vaseline, throws it in the garbage, and then like bends you over. And then I can keep going with the graphic scenery, but this is what basically happens to your positions. So you get your stop losses hit on the upside and the downside, right? If I had to guess, because we're about to go and find out. If I had to guess, I would say this bad boy went up first, knocking out your stop losses to the short side. Then it crashed, knocking out any longs that entered above the prior swing high, which by the way occurred on a 9, and another one here, and another one there. And then the market is nicely and orderly going up, but in 2 hours, it's gonna end. So we're gonna go sub 1 hour, we're gonna go into the 10 minutes, and I wanna see if my hypothesis is correct, that we went up before we went down. This was also a green 2 above a green 1 coming off a baby Darth Maul candle. So to me, it has all the makings of, screwing you in one direction, screwing you in the other, and then continuing in the direction it was gonna go to. Let's find out. And that was right. I mean, I could have been lying to you. I could have looked at this and prepared this. And I mean, it doesn't matter, right? I mean, this wasn't happening live. So if you are a trader on a 10-minute chart, this was very, very bullish. This is a green 2 above a green 1, breaking setup trend line. There's absolutely no reason for you not to be long in this trade using the 10-minute candle. We can go sub 10 minute to check this out as well, right? But the candle completes as a shooting star candle, and that should throw in a big caution flag for you. After the shooting star candle, let's put it this way. If your entry, if you are a short-term trader, I'm talking short-term. If you're a short-term trader, your bullish entry, I gotta go board in about 4 minutes here, guys. If you're a short-term trader, your bullish entry is right here. But after it goes up in 10 minutes from 38.55 to 39.04, you really want to start to set a break-even stop loss, and your break-even stop loss is actually right there, right? Maybe it's like a few dollars down. So now we're talking on the way down, you gotta watch out. And unless you have a very loose stop loss, in which case you could have held through this mess. Let's go sub 10 minute. I want to see what it looks like on a 5, then 3, then 1. When this happened. Okay, well, there's your entry, right? So if you are looking at 5-minute chart, your entry is about the same. Your entry is right there, and then you make a huge shooting star candle, and then the following candle actually didn't kind of held you up. So for me personally, I probably would have left my break-even stop, or raised it to the bottom of the 3 candle, or left it right where it was, but I would have been a break-even stop. I'm curious on the 1 candle. Might have to scroll over a lot. This seemed to have happened a while ago. I was this all lets me do. There's a 3-minute candle. Is this it? Is this the area? This where it happened. Yeah, there it is. I really wanted to see the 1 minute candle. I wanted to see if we hit a 9 on a 1 minute candle, but like it didn't take me there. So the 3 minute candle, again, the sequential wasn't any help at all. Gave you an entry, but like I wouldn't be really trading the 3 minute candle. Wow, it really can't get me there on a 1 minute candle. When did this happen? 14th, right? Or did I scroll back too far? Oh, there it is. Yeah, the one candle didn't give you, and the sequential was totally useless too. All right, let's go back to the 1 hour. Yeah, you got screwed. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? Is this manipulation? I don't know. Probably debatable. Debatable. Someone with more money could have moved it in one direction or another, knocked out your stop losses, and oh wait, this. Oh yes, the 1 hour. Yeah, yeah. And now it's going up, and I'm bullish here, but there's a 9 on the 1 hour coming up next hour. I'll be on an airplane. Like I said, I got a 13-hour flight. Then I got to get to my Airbnb. Then I have to probably sleep. Definitely do laundry and prep for tomorrow's workshop. Speaking of tomorrow's workshop, let's go over to tonebase.com. So my workshops are right here. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if we added anything. We added Berlin. That's what we added. I'm coming to Berlin. I should probably tell the conference organizers I'm going to speak at their conference on chain. Oh, we added Rome. Geez, I should really pay attention to where I'm teaching workshops. So after New York, I will be heading over to Rome. I'm actually heading back to Malta to speak at the AI and Blockchain Summit. Then I'll be in Amsterdam. Then I'll be in Rome. Then I'll be in Amsterdam, and then I'm going to be on a blockchain cruise, and then I'll be in Berlin. So there you go, guys. And I'm off to Zurich tonight. Let's look at the calendar. The calendar feature is great. We're going to improve the calendar. Still needs some work. So we are here. I am flying out to Zurich. I'll be in Zurich here. We have a meetup here. There's a Zurich meetup on Monday, and the workshop is on Sunday. And then at some point, I have to get to Mallorca. And then from there, I go to Egypt, and then the conference in Malta. So speaking of the conference in Malta, if you click on this, you can click on Understanding Bitcoin, and it will take you to our conference in Malta called Understanding Bitcoin that will teach you how to do everything Bitcoin. And here it is. Oh, you gotta get more pictures. Thought they'd be up by now. Please check that out. We have 8 tickets left at 0.1 Bitcoin. Please check out. We're gonna have a real agenda coming to you soon. I am not partying in Europe. I am done. If you want to take me out, please don't offer me any alcohol. I have to do work, or this conference is going to be a complete and utter disaster. I just couldn't get anything done over the last 10 days, and I feel bad about that. We have a store. I think we added a new t-shirt. We're going to add a bunch of t-shirts, by the way. The shitcoin shirt's coming. Give me a few more days. We added a new carnivory shirt. We're going to have lots of cool carnivory shirts for you guys. Again, haven't had too much time to focus on it, but more cool stuff is coming. The educational, there's a lot here. Anyway, I think I'm done. I have to go check in, and I have to hopefully pass out on the plane. I will talk to you all on the next one. Stopping screen share. Take a look at Tesla. Not today, guys. We'll take a look at Tesla another day. Are we bullish? I'm leaning a little bit bullish here because of the weekly chart and the short-term charts. But once we break, if we break 4,200, I think we're gonna be looking real nice into 5K. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the meetup on Monday as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cathay Pacific Flight CX383 to Zurich
Apple on a
is
weekly 9.
delayed for
Interesting.
boarding.
I'll take a look. Yep. My flight to Zurich is boarding, guys. We'll have to take a look at the rest next time. I will talk to you all on the next one. Good luck trading.